they had to do a lot of studies, very serious exercises, but it must have also been a great fun. And Sheikh became the person who conducted the first performances of my husband's works in Hamburg and then in Darmstadt.
Another colleague and friend, very close friend, was the composer and conductor Bruno Maderna. What kind of relationship did they have to each other?
Well, Gigi was studying at the Venice Conservatory, of which Gianfrancesco Malipiero was the director. And at some point, Gigi wanted to study more modern music, actually. I think it was Hindemith. And Malipiero said, no, we don't teach that. We don't teach these works. Although he had been a friend also of my father's, and he was interested in contemporary, other more modern music, but this was not something that they taught at the conservatory. And he told him, go to Bruno Maderna and study these things with him. Well, Gigi left the conservatory, and he went to Bruno Maderna and said, I want to study these new methods of composition that I want to study. So Bruno said, well, then you have to start all over again. Forget everything you learned in the conservatory, and we will start all over. And
well, one also has to understand that this music was repressed under the Nazis. So the musica viva, in essence, tried to reanimate the kind of music that had been barred from performance in Germany. Another anti-fascist composer, but somebody who had emigrated to the United States, was Paul Dessau, whom you remember from your childhood. He was a friend of your father's as well.
Yes, he lived in Los Angeles for a long time and worked in Hollywood at MGM. And we knew him very well as a friend of the Schoenberg family. And then when I came to Europe with Gigi, we saw him very often in East Berlin. And of course, his wife, Ruth Berghaus,
who is on the left there.
Yeah, was a very important stage director and a very good friend of ours. Of course, she was with the Berliner Ensemble at first.
And the Ruth Berghaus had worked with Precht, and then had gone to the West to do stagings of operas in Frankfurt. So she became probably the most important stage director in Germany after the 60s, 70s.
Completely new way, and people who didn't like his music before when he used political text thought these works were wonderful, and so it was quite an interesting thing. Of course, they didn't take into consideration that he had written texts, written works like Canciones para Silvia, which was a very, very lovely romantic text for his little daughter, or other works before which did not always have political text.
If you take apart what you just heard, you have the image of water, well, waves, and the bells, of course. So you have both at once. And both water and bells have been a century-old symbol for grieving.